Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the stock market update video, where we'll be looking at QQQ, Sp500, as well as Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. So we'll be looking at the support and resistance levels for them and potentially play off of, as well as what's the most likely scenario their price would be heading into later this week, and the psychology behind these patterns, so that you guys can learn more about the market and understand it. And if you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. They're always appreciated. All right, let's get started. So we are looking at QQQ. And currently, today is a pretty uneventful day, I would say. Even though we did break yesterday's low, we didn't get much follow through from the bears, but we also didn't get much follow through from the bulls either. So in the morning, when we broke below yesterday's low, when we gapped down there, and we didn't get a lot of bear follow through, that was pretty much the sign saying that there's not a bear today. Essentially, that is what made the market rip in the next hour. And we did retest the 380 zone again, and that's where we got a little bit of bearish action into the close when we hit that 380 zone resistance as well. So let's just say today is no bear follow through and not much of bull follow through as well, because we couldn't get over resistance and we couldn't get over support for you bears. So we're technically still trading in the zone. So tomorrow, pretty simple. Are we going to break 380 for the bulls for continuation and we'll retest this high? Or bears can break below 375. Give us further daily consolidation. Daily consolidation just means the candle closes below the prior candle. So we had that on Friday already. And we just had a little bit of further daily consolidation today. Went a little bit lower, but no follow through from the bears. So if this is all we're going to pull back, and daily uptrend, it's just going to continue. And we'll see where we bounce, because if we bounce here, break above prior high, then daily uptrend just continues, stays intact. Nothing, zero red flags on the chart at the moment for bulls, because even on the hourly, we don't have an hourly downtrend. This was a hourly, slightly an hourly downtrend here, but same thing. The bears lack follow through at that support zone. That's why we bounced next couple of hours into resistance. We'll see if bulls can actually break 380 or not. This is giving me a tiny range feel here, because if we do tighten up again, if we pull back again tomorrow and it doesn't break 375, we're going to tighten up into probably later this week to form more of a tiny range for us to see if we get a retest of a breakout or a break below it, because that's how psychology of tiny range works, because it's accumulating fuel while it's going sideways for the next break. We don't know where it's going to break, but we know that when it breaks that tiny range, we will see volume come in to whichever side it breaks to. And that's when we in our positions, because if we get chopped around here, there's not much for us to really play off of when it chops. Take a look. Yeah, other than that, daily chart very healthy for QQQ. No signs of red flags at the moment for bulls. For you bears, confirm that first hourly downtrend for me. Then I'll start looking, see if there's going to be further daily consolidation down to around this 371 zone, which is the prior Thursday's high. If we pull back, that's where I will be looking at to potentially bounce here. That's obviously if we do break 375 zone first. As of now, no signs of that yet. So we'll take it as a day. Tomorrow we'll see if we ended up breaking out of this sideways range. All right, take a look at SPY. So on SPY, thing is that today's chart was actually very weak. So let's go to the heat map here. We can see that the only sector that was green was the technology, and that was it. And a little bit of semiconductor sector as well, and Tesla. And the rest of the market was red. See how red we were today, actually. Even though the market didn't end up, QQ did have a slightly green. So pretty much just tech carrying the sector today. And so let's take a look at SPY. So you can see SPY had a red day, while QQ had pretty much a flat day. And it makes sense. SPY did was out relatively outperforming a little bit last week, and it was almost at the top of its structure. And it hits the resistance first. So when it hit resistance, now it's a little bit weaker than QQQ. This pullback is still very healthy, and no signs of red flags yet at this moment. So take a look. We will measure from A to B move, see if we're still in bull flag. Yep, I would say we're still in bull flag because we are still above 38.2%. So as long as we pull back all the way down to this 446 zone, it's still a daily bull flag from this bottom of this move, from the A to B to the top of this move. So it's still a very healthy pullback for me on SPY. Currently no signs of red flags. There's only another 0.6% if we pull back to 38.2%. Not much of a pullback, 0.66%. But obviously, if we do pull back over 50%, then we're starting to look for an equilibrium. Let's gonna put that up again. So if we do pull over 50%, which is closer to this 445 zone, then we can potentially be shaping up a equilibrium, which means the prior move is always going to be more than the current move. So, or the current move is going to be less than the prior move. So you can see the drop is this big, the bounce is going to be within the drop's move. And then the next drop is going to be within the bounce's move. So it just tightens up. We could do that, we could have a slight pullback, weakness in September, pullback, and then still be within this move. And then bounce in October and, tighten up a little bit, and then break out into the end of the year. So that's potentially would happen, would be more probable if we do pull back over 50% more than 50%. But as of now, no signs of that yet. So we don't want to be guessing that it's going to do that because we don't have the data yet that it actually pulled back more than 50%. We go to the hourly trend, be our guide. No clear hourly trend at the moment, even though it is slightly trending down. But I want to see us break this double bottom for us to have, say, a more convincing hourly downtrend. There's not a lot of support here. So that's why the bulls are holding this exact spot, because if it breaks, it will likely come down to this 445 zone very easily. Yeah. It's the less volume traded in one area, the easier it is to cut through, regardless if we're going up or down. Psychology behind volumes. All right, take a look at Tesla. Pretty much U-turned the entire loss on Friday, surprisingly. I don't know if they had any fundamental news or what, but I'm guessing maybe. I know they had a news on Friday where they cut prices, but people maybe just digested over the weekend and they're like, instead of thinking it's bearish, you know how you have initial reactions when right when the news comes out, FOMC reactions, and then next day after people digest, it just goes completely the other way. This could be the same thing. People might have just digested the news over the weekend. They're like, we think maybe it's bullish or something. But yeah, then we just take a look at the price action. Now we are pretty much testing the top of the range again. So this resistance was pretty much where we broke out of this rising wedge, bearish. Now we're coming back up to the exact same spot. So that's the level where I will be looking at to see if Tesla can continue, if they do break above it or not. That would be this 260 to 263 zone. And hourly trend is currently in neutral because it's just one straight move. There's no trend changes yet. So on the next hourly consolidation, I want to see the bulls buy back up for an hourly uptrend for us to be that it's more convincing. Also, we also bounce off of the 12 EMA, which is a teal looking line. So that's the exponential moving average, and you type in 12, get this teal looking line. You can see it acts as resistance on the way down. So when we're above it, I want to see it act as support. So that's what I did. We actually bounced off of that on Friday as well, and off of this morning also. And the daily uptrend is still intact, even though you guys know I talked about on Friday that even though this drop is very significant, this pivot is still above the prior pivot. So That's why the daily uptrend is still intact, even though, regardless of this 5% drop. So, and after this bounce, it's looking like it wants to continue on its daily uptrend. So, as long as we break above this Thursday's high, which is 261.18, daily uptrend continues. And that would be a good sign for bulls because we would start to negate. We'll be bouncing over 50% on this weekly chart of this retracement. Then that means you'll start to favor the bulls more, even more, on the next pullback for a weekly uptrend to confirm. So we'll see if it can break that last week's high. If it does, it's starting to look better and better for bulls for that to confirm this weekly uptrend back to their favor. All right, let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia, flat day today. Not much going on, but still trading at its pretty much all-time high range. So no complaints here for any bulls. But just not much action for the last couple of days. We're holding above prior strong resistance. You can see we rejected over here 3 times. Bounce off of it, rejected here as well. So currently we are holding decent. QQ had a flat day today. Nvidia had a flat day. So they're relatively same. And take a look to see hourly trend give us more clues. Let me close this real quick. So we had an hourly downtrend here. And now we have hourly uptrend confirm. And now let's just say it's an hourly neutral trend. Not much confirming either. This may just end up forming a tightening range as well, based on how choppy this slow action has been. I guess it's probably it wants to tighten up before it makes its next big move. So we'll likely see something down, big move up, potentially come back down to here. The 12 EMA is going to catch up tomorrow, so likely come down to here, tighten up a little bit, and then potentially get a breakout into later this week to see which way it wants to go. So far, no fireworks here as of lately. And yep. Take a look at the 4-hour. Yeah, looks like we're very likely a potentially tighten range. If the bears can't break this 480, then it's not going to form a tightening range. If they do, then bulls need to play defense above this 450 zone to form a tightening equilibrium. If not, then if we do bounce here tomorrow, big move up, then it's a forward uptrend confirming, as well as a continuation of the daily uptrend. So tomorrow's actually pretty key. So either you'll get a tightening range or a bull break and continuation of the uptrend. All right, let's look at Apple. Surprisingly, Apple is still holding pretty darn well at the top of right under its resistance. So that is a very good sign for the bulls, especially when you have a big move up right into resistance and you're able to hold just right under it, consolidate sideways right under it. That means it's a very good sign. It means potentially bulls want to break out of this resistance, but they're a bit tired. They use up a lot of buying power here, and they need a little bit of rest. They need a little bit of rest before they can run again. It's like you're running a marathon, right? You ran 10K already here, but you're still able to go, but you just need a little bit of a rest for you to be able to run even more again. So this is what psychology of this chart is telling us currently at the moment. Obviously, anything can happen. QQQ comes out with the bad news or something. QQQ rolls over. Obviously, Apple is not going to be resistant to QQQ. But so now, that is what the chart is telling us, that we may test this 190, which we already did. But this 190, try to break it, 190 and 191 zone in the next couple of weeks. Maybe chop sideways a little bit, get some feel going, and then see if we get break or not. Let the EMAs as well catch up while it's on its top of its move. If it goes sideways like this for a while, this EMA is going to catch up and it will act as support along the way, which is acting as support. It acts as support all the way down here. So Good sign on Apple. No signs of red flags at all. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. So Amazon is the only mega cap now that hasn't confirmed a daily uptrend. So you guys know I talked about last week. See where who's going to join who on the uptrend, and we end up having Apple and the other mega caps joining Team Bull. While when we had to get that QQQ breakout at the same time, we got that clue. And now we have Amazon left as the only mega cap tech that hasn't confirmed a daily uptrend. So because it made a new low here compared to its prior low, every mega cap tech held its prior low and was made a higher low like that, except Amazon made a new low here. So this is just one initial move, no trend here. And today, finally, Amazon made its pivot on a daily consolidation because the candles now went below the prior candle. So is this the bottom of the pivot or not? That's going to be the question that we're looking at today. And so let's take a look. So Amazon bounced off of the 12 EMA. That's one good sign. Bounced off of 136, prior resistance, now acting as support. Two good signs. And we zoom into the hourly, see if we get hourly uptrend yet. So now no hourly uptrend yet. So but it bounced. So if we do get an hourly uptrend form tomorrow at this area, then there's three good signs that we can call this a potential pivot low being set by Amazon. And if that does happen, we get an hourly uptrend tomorrow. I want to see Amazon break Friday's high, this 140 zone. Then that would be Amazon's daily uptrend confirmed. Very first daily uptrend confirmed since we had one here. This is a higher low, and it's just a straight gap up into a daily uptrend. But yeah, but this one would be more structural along the way compared to this just a straight gap up with nothing in between, right? All right, Google. So Google has also confirmed its daily uptrend already with the other mega cap tech stocks, and right now just forming a consolidation, just like QQQ is. So this is the uptrend confirmed, and this is just another consolidation here. So let's take a look to see if safely say this is the low of this current consolidation, and we're going to bounce here or not. We zoom into the hourly chart, and we can say that we had a significant bounce, but no hourly trend change yet. This was an hourly downtrend with lacking bear follow through, just like QQ did in the morning, lacking bear follow through, and then you see the bulls took over. But that was just defense. So we want to see some offense going on from the bulls to form a hourly uptrend for us to confidently say this is the low of the daily consolidation. Because if that's not the low of the daily consolidation, we may consolidate further down to this 133 zone, which is the prior support. Prior resistance is gonna act as support now when come down to it. Obviously, this 135 zone can act as support and just be the low of the consolidation, and we head higher and retest this 138 double top or not. But as of now, we don't have enough price action yet to confidently say yes, because I want to see hourly uptrend confirmed for us to confidently say that is the low. And as now, no signs of red flags for bulls on the daily chart on Google. And yeah, we'll see how tomorrow gives us any more clues. Let's take a look at the 4-hour real quick. Let's see. Yeah, same thing, 4-hour. All right, let's take a look at Microsoft. So Microsoft finally had its daily uptrend confirmed as well. So it's the second last one. Sorry, it's not the second last one. Yeah, it is the second last one because Amazon hasn't confirmed and just Microsoft left. Okay, delete this real quick. So Microsoft here couldn't get over Thursday's high for a very long time. We just have a slow grind up every time here, and then we just end up closing below this 330 zone. Like we got above it, close down here, got above it, close down here, tested here, close down here. And today, finally we had a breakout. You can see in the morning, we got it back. We finally got it. We even tested here again twice, rejected, rejected from this 330. Bears are just relentless trying to defend that area. And the second we broke out of that 330, boom, you see all this bull volume coming in, right? Um, why? Why does these lines in technical analysis work? Because everybody put a line on 330. That's how it works. Because if everyone puts a line on 330 and there's just a lot of volume traded, a lot of buys and sell buttons at 330, if it breaks, everybody's stop loss is gonna get triggered, right? If you're shorted, you're gonna have to cover your positions, and if you put a buy order in, right, your buy order is gonna get triggered. So that's why there's a lot of volumes coming in at the same time when a resistance level is break. That's what we got, and got a lot of follow through. So now when that 330 zone broke at the same time, bulls broke above this Thursday's high, which is 333, and confirmed a daily uptrend for the first time since this all-time highs. So it's pretty significant. So I want to see tomorrow get some a little bit more follow through, at least come up to 335, test some levels here, and continue its daily uptrend. You can see that ever since we hit this all-time highs, this was a daily downtrend confirmed right here. I remember talking about this back then, saying that it's very notable because Microsoft did not confirm a daily downtrend for months and months. Over here, this is its last time it confirmed a daily downtrend. Very small one, lacking follow through, bounced right away, and that was months from this. Actually, 3 months. 3 months from its last daily downtrend. That even zero lacking follow through, but it's still a daily downtrend. So that's what I said. It was very significant, and we'll likely get a more pullbacks on that drop because it also coincides with the AI news drop at the same time, which marking top of Microsoft. We have a couple of negative catalysts and technical at the same time coincides with together, then the likelihood of the move continuing increases. So we get a good news and we give it all back, right? So that's a red flag. And we get a daily downtrend in the last 3 months. That's another red flag. So combining technicals and fundamentals, you get more follow through from the downside. So, and now we have confirmed very first daily uptrend back to Microsoft's favor. So we'll see if it continues and joins the other thinking bull for mega cap tech stocks. So right now we just have Amazon left. So we'll see if Amazon will show up, give us that daily uptrend tomorrow or Wednesday. If that happens, then we have all mega cap tech stocks back to a daily uptrend. Then we may chop around a bit in September, in October, then potentially test all-time highs in the end of the year. So we'll see about that. That's currently my take, but I'll do a weekend video on the weekly timeframes more. But if you guys like to support the channel, feel free to click the join button down there. I do a Sunday video on members only. So far, for you guys on weekly timeframes and monthly timeframes, most likely scenario for longer term timeframes. Yeah, if you guys like to support the channel, feel free. All right, let's take a look at. Let's close this real quick. Last one, Meta. So Meta has just been testing that same resistance zone for the last 3 days. This 300 and 303, 301 zone. Every time we tested that zone, we came below it and closed below it. But today is actually the very first time we closed below 300, above 300. We didn't close it above 301 though, but at least a good sign that we closed above 300 because 300 is above this Thursday's highest pivot, just like Microsoft, right? When Meta broke above it, it confirmed its daily uptrend as well here, right? Over here, broke above this Thursday's high. But I was talking about it the last 2 days where it's saying it's very lacking follow through if we keep closing underneath here. So today is the very first time that we close above it. The chances of us continuing more tomorrow increases when we close above one of the resistance. Obviously, it's another one right above us, but the chances of us breaking above it increase after we close above 300, as well as closing above this Thursday's high pivot. So yeah, so now I want to see hourly uptrend confirm right here. This is the pullback. I want to see us break above it, 303. Sorry, 300 at the same time. Confirm that hourly uptrend, and we have a decent breakout on Meta. And you'll likely get some volume coming in when we broke 301. Or the next scenario is we break above 301, come back, retest this 301, which is acting as prior resistance, bounce off of that, then we get higher. Those are the two scenarios if we do break out above it. All right, that's what I got for you guys on the mega cap tech stocks. I will see you guys tomorrow. And if you guys are looking at commodities videos, I already uploaded that previously. And if you're ready to like, share, and subscribe, you guys made it this far or learn anything. And yeah, feel free to support the channel, buy me a cup of coffee, and click the join button. And I will see you guys tomorrow.